Hello Sparks, welcome to another week of Awana. I missed you last week. How was your Thanksgiving? I hope you ate tons of food. I hope you had lots of fun hanging out with your family, had a great time. All right, maybe you got to watch a parade, I don't know. I hope it was wonderful. I know this much though, I'm happy to see you again and I cannot wait to see you at the Awana store this Sunday because we have a sale going on. That's right, this Sunday, December the 6th, and also 1 week after that, December the 14th, we are having a sale at the Awana store. Oh my goodness, it is going to be so cool. Here's the deal. There's so many different prizes and toys that you have seen at the Awana store, right? And there's a lot that are kind of expensive. You see them there on the tables every single week and you go, man, that's so expensive. I can never raise enough money to get to that one. Well, I got good news for you because you don't have to wait too much longer because for the next 2 Sundays, we're taking so many of those items that are a little bit pricier on the tables and we are marking them down by a lot. And you might be able to walk away with some toys that you wouldn't have been able to buy anyways. Not only that, we're going to have some special prizes that maybe if you thought about getting something for your parents, you can spend your Awana shares on presents for your parents this Christmas. Huh? That sounds pretty good too. So we look forward to seeing you at the Awana store this Sunday, December 6th, and the Sunday after that. I think I said 14th earlier. Can't remember if it's 14th or 13th, but the next 2 Sundays. That's the important part, okay? So how's stuff been going? Have you working on your verses? Have you been working hard, putting in time every day? I hope you have. And you guys have been learning some really tough verses recently, but if you're working hard on them, I know you can do a good job. As a matter of fact, we are all the way past our first red jewel badge for this year, and we are working on the green jewel now for every single one of you if you've been able to keep up. So just to recap what everybody's learning this week. So first of all, if you're in Hang Glider, you guys are continuing to learn about Genesis 1 and how God created the entire world, all right? Now, we'll come back to Wing Runner here in just a second because this is your verse, and it's a big one, all right? But then Skystormer, you guys are learning about a couple of things, but you have a special verse that I really love from the Gospel of Matthew, where Jesus says to not forbid little children from coming to him. That verse is very special to me, and it's part of the reason that I enjoy doing these videos with you, all right? Now, good luck on whatever you're learning this week, but can we talk about Wing Runner for a second? Because, oh my goodness, look at the size of this verse. It's huge. Now, first of all, Wing Runner, last week you started working on Psalm 23, and you guys are going to memorize the entire psalm of Psalm 23. Don't panic, it's only 6 verses. Last week, if you memorized your verses, you did verses 1 and 2. So, great job, you're 1/3 of the way there. Actually, it's not true. You did 1, 2, and 3, so you're halfway there, even better. All right? Now we're on to Psalm 23, verses 4 and 5, and you'll learn verse 6 next week, okay? Now, here's the deal. I put a little dotted line right here because you don't have to learn this all at once if you don't want to, all right? Take your time, all right? It's 2 different verses. If you want to focus on just this first part first and then add the second part onto it, by all means do that, all right? Don't get overwhelmed when you see such a big verse all at once. Just spend like a day or 2 focused on this and then spend another day or 2 adding this to what you've already learned, all right? Whatever works best for you, let's learn about what this verse is, okay? Now, let's say the whole thing together. All of us, whether you're in Wing Runner, Hang Glider, or Skystormer, let's do it all right now. Ready? Psalm 23, 4 through 5. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table for me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runs over. All right, real quick. How many words do you think are in this 2 verses that you have to memorize? Excluding the reference, how many words? 52. 52 words you got to memorize. But here's the thing. I say it every week. If you work hard every single day, put in just a few minutes here and there, you can memorize this and you can earn those 10 Awana shares, all right? Man, I'm so excited because I have a feeling that some of you guys in Wing Runner, you're going to be able to come up and say the entirety of Psalm 23, all of verses 1 through 6. I can't wait to see that. Now, I think we've talked about this before in here, but this is Psalm 23. What's a psalm? Well, the book of Psalms is like a book of songs that people back in Jesus' day, and even before Jesus' day, would not only read through, but sing. Yeah, guess what? Once upon a time, a long time ago, this used to rhyme in the language of Hebrew that people like Jesus spoke. And they would sing these words to God basically in their version of church. On Saturday mornings when they worship, they would sing these songs praising God. So this song is written by David. You know David, right? David was the guy who killed Goliath. He also became king of all of Israel. But before he killed Goliath, before he was king, he was a shepherd. And so David wrote this talking about being a shepherd. Last week you learned Psalm 23 verse 1 where he says, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He leadeth me to green pastures. He maketh me to lie down beside still waters." I think I got that mixed up backwards. All right. But that same thought proceeds to here. And he says, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'm not going to fear evil. For your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Imagine being a sheep. Yeah, imagine. You want to pretend being a sheep right now? Go ahead. Take your time, all right? Pause the video if you need to. Just get on all fours right there in the middle of your living room or wherever it is you're watching and make some sheep sounds. You know what a sheep says? All right? Sheep say, "Meh," right? All right? So pretend being a sheep, all right? Do your thing. Now, imagine that you're a sheep and that Jesus is your shepherd, okay? Imagine that he takes you to eat really good food in these nice pastures. And you get to hang out by the streams, and wherever Jesus tells you to go, you go. But also imagine that Jesus takes you into this deep, dark valley, and it's really scary. It's dark, so you can't see a lot of things, but you hear a lot of sounds, and you smell a lot of scary smells, and you're not sure if you're totally safe. But your shepherd is right there with you, and he's got a big stick to protect you. That is what David is trying to illustrate and make you think of when you read through this. Now, what are you most scared of in the entire world? What are your biggest fears? Maybe you're really scared of the dark. I understand. Or maybe when it's time to go to bed and they turn the lights off and you're worried about, what if there's something in my closet or something under my bed? Maybe if you're out in your backyard, you're scared about running into snakes or spiders or a tiger. There's no tiger in your backyard. Don't worry about that one. Or maybe you're scared of just other things in general, like thunderstorms or tornadoes. Whenever you see a big storm coming and it's loud and scary, you get worried. Well, can I tell you a secret? You're not the only person who gets scared. I get scared too. And you know what? I don't get scared of spiders and snakes that much anymore. Now, I'll be honest, sometimes when I'm not expecting a spider or a snake, I'll jump for a second, but I'm not always worried about them, and I'm not usually scared of the dark anymore either, or even thunderstorms or tornadoes don't really scare me that much anymore. But even though you're just a little person right now, one day when you grow up, you'll still be scared sometimes, just of different things. Everybody gets scared. Your mom and dad get scared sometimes. I get scared. Pastor Tyler, Pastor Matt get scared. Even the strongest, bravest people in the whole world, even they get scared sometimes. So what do we do when we're scared? What do we do when we're worried? Whenever I get scared, I actually quote this verse. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. I know that no matter what I'm scared of in that moment, that God is with me. I'm never alone because I'm God's child. I'm his sheep, he's my shepherd, and he's always going to protect me. So when I'm most scared, this is the verse that I quote. But I want you to imagine one more thing. I want you to imagine that even in the scariest of moments, that you get to have a really big feast. You guys had Thanksgiving, right? You had this humongous Thanksgiving feast where you got to eat all sorts of foods. Well, what's your favorite food imaginable? I mean, is it pizza? Is it chicken nuggets? Is it hamburgers or tacos? I don't know what your favorite food is, but I want you to imagine that in the scariest, darkest place imaginable, that God takes you and you sit down at a table and you eat a huge feast of your favorite foods. Would you be able to eat when you're scared? It's not easy to eat when you're scared. You'd be like taking your chicken nugget and you'd be like looking around like what's gonna happen? Or you'd be constantly looking over your shoulder or checking under the table as you take your bite of pizza, right? It's really hard to eat when you're scared. But David said, you prepare a table for me in the presence of my enemies. The things that are scariest in the entire world, you make a table so I can be safe and I can be calm in the midst of it all. You anoint my head with oil. That's something else that they did at big feasts and big meals. My cup runs over. Imagine you have a cup, and not only is there your favorite drink in there, like water or juice or whatever, but there's so much in there that it's overflowing. You can't even pick it up without getting your hands wet. That's what David is talking about. Boys and girls, we get scared sometimes. It happens. There's scary things that happen in our world. But we have good news. We're never alone. God has a big rod and staff that he protects us with. He is powerful. He's always watching over us. And in addition to that, he doesn't just protect us, but he makes us so safe and secure. He is able to provide for us and give us everything that we need so that we can rest and relax even in the scariest of moments. That's really cool. So I hope for you that are memorizing these verses this week, that helps you to understand the verse a little bit better. And I hope that you get to work on it every single day. You do a very good job so that in just a week's time, you can come in and get some awesome deals at the Awana store. And I hope that you already memorized last week's verse so you can come in this week to get some awesome deals at the Awana store, all right? I hope you all have a fantastic week, and I'll see you next time.